Hello there, welcome to Target Radio's podcast with me, Cookie. Every single week we find different people to speak to, mainly musicians, artists in the unsigned realm of music. And what we do, we have a chat with them, find out a little bit more about them, and obviously explore their music. Now, if you are listening to this on iTunes, please, if you get a chance, give us a 5-star rating if you can. And please make sure you put some comments in there as well. If we're doing something right, that's great. But if we're not doing something as good and you think we could do something better, then please do leave us a message. Let us know. And if you want anything else in the podcast, again, let us know in the comments box. That will be brilliant. Okay, stay tuned then. Today we've got a brilliant artist. Have a listen to this.
Every Monday night.
We'd like to say that, in our opinion, it is not suitable for children.
Every Monday night.
Or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
Every Monday night.
And every Monday night.
Then we had a super sound DJ.
Sean Cook.
Good people, it is my pleasure to present to you
Sean Cook.
the one and only
Sean Cook.
Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. Hello, 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 and welcome to the show.
So let's have fun.
Now, for those of you watching in black and white, this one is in Technicolor.
Stand by for action.
Oh, Sean Cook.
Well, better late than never. Good evening. Welcome. Target Radio here. As I said, better late than never. Internet connection problems as normal. Damn the internet. Anyway, last show before the Brighton Mod Weekend. Come on, hands up then. Who is excited? Oh, just me then. Anyway, how was your weekend? Mine was rather subdued. Bit of work and lots of sleep. And lots of emails and catching up, because obviously I've just come back from Holly Bob's. Anyway, great lineup this evening. We've got an extra special show for you this evening. As I said, last one before the Quadrophenia 40th anniversary weekender coming up. Of course, it's the Mod Weekender as well, but everything's going to be sort of more Quadrophenia, I reckon. And why not? So, in no particular order, we got Daz Kent. He's going to be live on the show a little later. Mark Dominic McLaren, or better known as the head honcho for the Sonics, with a K, I've been keeping told. What is it? Oh, it's not my fault. And finally, like I said, in no particular order, we got Manny. Him. Yeah, that man there. Do you know, for the first time, I've never spoken to the man, so I'm actually going to get him to record his surname for me. And then, I won't have any more problems, will I? Anyway, so a brilliant lineup this evening. We are going to be flat out, and when we say the word we, I'll have a chat with Andy Top-Walker very shortly and find out why he's dropped the top out of his Facebook profile. Perhaps he's not top anymore. We'll find out. Stay tuned here, Target Radio. Okay, now we are celebrating, as I said, Quadrophenia and all this. Well, we've been playing this since, I don't know, since God was a boy. Just watch out for those pesky seagulls with your chips. Okay, welcome to Target Radio Podcast, and we're doing a little bit in the middle of our podcast from now on in. Basically, just to advertise a couple of special events that are coming your way very soon. With me now, I've got Andy Top-Walker, who's helping with the March of the Mods, which is Saturday the 21st of March, 2020, so that's next year. Kick-starting off at 1 o'clock all the way through till 1 a.m. Andy, 12 hours, mate. That's a long time.
12 hours of wonderful music.
It's going to be wonderful music. So who's appearing on March of the Mods 2020 at the Holroyd Arms? That's in Guildford.
It's in Guildford, and I'm pleased to announce that from the Chords UK, we actually have Chris Pope.
Wow.
And he's going to be doing an acoustic set for us.
Okay, that sounds good.
We also have The Aim, The Spirals, The Sonics.
Who else we got?
Then we've got The Modern Apes. And then followed by, it's great to announce that the Trojan Beats are actually going to be there as well. We also have the 48Ks.
That is a great band.
Absolutely. So looking forward to hearing them.
Fantastic.
Them. A new up-and-coming young band called the Lightscopes.
And anything else?
And then we're having a bit of a Q&A session going
Question
on.
and answers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. With Modzines.
Ah, now, is that something to do with one Eddie Pillar?
I believe it is.
Wow. Now, we're going to be asking questions to Eddie?
No, I believe he's going to be asking the questions to some very special guests.
Oh, the great Eddie Pillar live on the stage area of March of the Mods 2020, and that's on the 21st of March at the Holroyd Arms. Target Radio, we're going to be recording the whole event live. Brilliant. And how do we get tickets, please?
You can, if you go on to Mods and More, we've got an advert going up there. Just click on the link and that takes you directly into the tickets.
Brilliant.
You can also do the same, obviously, here on Target Radio. Click onto the link, take you directly into the tickets. And also on most of the great Facebook pages that are out there that have actually offered to promote this great cause.
That is fantastic. Brilliant stuff. And how much does the tickets cost?
The tickets are £10 in advance. And if you're lucky enough to turn up on the day and there are still availability, it's £15 on the door.
Brilliant. Excellent. Right, okay, so that's March of the Mods, Saturday the 21st of March 2020. Kick starts at 1 p.m. Don't be late.
Don't be late.
Okay, and you're going to look great. Bring a change of clothes because we're going to get hot and sweaty in there. Going right the way through till 1 o'clock in the morning. Do you think you can do 12 hours? There we go, the Small Faces there, and what you gonna do about it? And before that we had the Kinks and Dedicated Follower of Fashion. So, Target Radio here. And we're so looking forward to meeting you down on the beach, well, just by the beach anyway, on Madeira Drive. We're outside the Modern World Cafe from 6 o'clock. Live music from 7. So we're looking forward to meeting and greeting all of our fellow listeners out there. Anyway, Andy, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. You're nice and loud today, which makes a rather nice change.
Well, I'm loving what you've done with the microphone.
I've turned it the other way round.
Brilliant.
It's upside down now, but it suits you better.
It does.
It suits you, sir.
I can rest upon it.
Anyway, so you were telling me, which is really quite legal beagle stuff, you know, about your name. So you're now Andy Walker on there, and basically Facebook won't allow you to have the top part.
No, unfortunately, it won't allow me to have the top part because I'm not legally a top.
No, more of a bottom.
Yep. So yes. I'm told.
There we go. We'll leave it there. So, we've got some brilliant guests on today. You've secured Mr. Daz Kent. Now, I've never had the privilege of speaking with Daz. And what's he like? Is he a really nice fella?
He's a top bloke, he really is.
We can't say top anymore. We're not allowed top.
Oh, we can. Absolutely.
Oh, we can say that, can we?
Top's going nowhere.
And why not? Brilliant. And then we've got Manny's
the man.
Manny's the man. Manny's the man is a man in his Manny. Right, and then finally we've got the Sonics, which is Mark McLaren.
We have.
He's becoming a bit of an old pro on this radio stuff now. He's always on there, isn't he?
Oh, he's such a gent.
He's a lovely
He's
fella.
a pleasure to have on board.
He certainly is. So we're looking forward to speaking with all of those guys in a short while, around about 6:30. We're going to do one at a time, so we're going to toss a coin soon. And mind you, we need a three-headed coin ready because it's 3 acts.
Okay.
Yeah, so, don't know. Hands up, who wants to go first? There we go, that's the easiest way. So, you're looking forward to Brighton this weekend, and you was telling me on Saturday you're going to see a couple of brilliant artists. So, tell us a little bit more about them, if you mind.
Okay, well, a group of us are actually going down to see, we're going to see Small Fakers, but obviously preceding that we've got the Kinks, and we've also booked in for the after-show party as well.
Fantastic. Now, that is absolutely brilliant. After-show party?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, there we go. You've got a little thing around your neck, little lanyard, have you?
Oh yeah, exclusive.
Oh, look
Exclusive.
at you! Look at you! I'm imagining now Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Party time. Okay, we'll talk to you a bit more about that in a minute. Let's have some jam. Let's hope and pray. Hello, would that be Mr. Daz Kent?
It is. Hiya there, you alright?
I'm not bad at all. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good actually. Yeah, not bad at all.
Excellent,
A bit
excellent.
from the weekend.
Now, we just heard from, I think, your first EP, actually, There Ain't No Soul. I love that track, actually. It's got high energy and everything in there. But before we get into your music, first and foremost, on the radio tonight, we have got Mr. Daz Kent, first time on Target Radio. So, welcome, sir. That is really, really glad you spent just a few minutes of your time speaking to us this evening. And when I say us, that's myself, Cookie, and along with us, you've got Andy Walker. I'm not going to use the top anymore now, that's it.
Evening, Daz. How you doing, bud?
Hi, Andy, mate.
How you doing, fella?
Yeah, not bad, mate, not bad.
Okay. Now, what's it feel like to be on the other side of the interview table?
Yeah, it's a bit strange. I've only done it a couple of times. Yeah, it is. It's a bit strange. It's more nerve-wracking than doing my own show.
Well, just take a deep breath, take time, and enjoy it.
I'm worried already. Oh, my goodness me. So, Daz, you are a musician. Yeah. Obviously, we've just heard one of your fine tracks there. And I'd like to ask this question of all the musicians out there. What got you into music and why?
My parents, really, because...
they always blame the parents, don't they?
I'd done just about every hobby under the sun, and then I said I wanted a guitar, and they went, no, you've done absolutely everything else, and you've just packed it in, so no, you're not getting a guitar. So that made me determined, and that was it. As soon as I left school, first thing I went and did.
Brilliant, brilliant. And how old were you when you got your first guitar then, Daz?
So I've been 16.
16? Now, so you're pretty late to the scene when it comes to guitar playing, because usually...
Well, yeah, because they wouldn't buy me one.
They wouldn't buy you one. Rotten parents, what are they like?
Exactly.
I bet they're very proud of you now. That is the main thing. That is really good. Now, you are a music machine, as far as I'm concerned. You've come out with some brilliant, brilliant tracks over the course of time. No, they are very, very good. And they're meaningful. They've got high spirits. Obviously, our interpretation of music is different from somebody else, say, for instance. But what I can see there is a lot of you in your songs. Is that right?
Sorry, I'm just losing you there, Sean.
Okay, no problem. I was saying, with your music, I hear a lot of you in that song. The lyrics and the content, the way you're singing it. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, well... I don't know. I mean, when it's my own stuff, it is just me, really.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not really much thought goes in a lot of the stuff, It just comes out. Well, the better songs do, anyway. The better songs just flow. When you have to work at them a bit, you know that it's probably not a better song.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I heard that a lot from other musicians. When they start writing, they can't seem to put the pen down then. And obviously, it all marries together rather nicely. So, now, for you, I mean, obviously, being a musician and everything, is that what you've always wanted to do, from where, you started stamp collecting, train spotting and all the other bits and pieces? When you picked up the guitar, was it more like, this is an attachment of myself now, the guitar, that is?
I was always into music. I always liked music as a child and that. And I grew up with a lot of Motown and Style Council and stuff like that. So
wow.
So I always liked music anyway, and always took an interest in music. And quite often, I can remember as a kid just lying on my bed and just making songs up in my head, and that was it. I wanted to be a songwriter.
There we are, and you come full circle now. You come to fruition, and there you are. You are now a singer and songwriter, and very, very talented. There's a lot of love out there for you, Daz. Through Facebook and obviously on other social media platforms. They're liking what you're doing. And does that give you the inspiration then to move forward and then write that next track?
Yeah, definitely. I must say I'm pretty chuffed with the feedback. I didn't really expect it. I mean, it's more been for myself more than anything else.
Yeah.
Getting the studio set up in my flat even though it looks an eyesore, it works.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, I've got to get the maid in here actually to tidy up.
Oh yeah, foam everywhere and that. But yeah, it's just let me. Basically, I had a lot of stuff written and everything, and it was like, I want to do something with them. So it's given me that ability, but then it's also learning the mixing and how to mix, and that's a science in itself. And I feel now that I'm starting to get the grips with it. I'm starting to get it to a sort of standard. So, yeah, all good.
That's fantastic. Now, Daz, let's find out a little bit about you personally then. Where were you born and where were you raised?
Well, I was born in Bishop Auckland, but I was raised in Newton Aycliffe. But I've lived in Darlington now for 10 years.
Yep, we can hear that little accent going on there. So you're
yep.
past Watford
the
then?
The North-East twang.
There we go. Now, obviously with me today, I've got a privilege and a pleasure to be sitting next to me best pal, which is Mr. Andy Walker. No top anymore. He won't let me let. I'm not going to let go of that. I'm like a dog with a bone now. So I'm going to pass you over to Andy. I'm sure he's got a whole heap of questions. Nothing too hard for him.
I'm not going to go.
No, what you like? You're horrible. You are.
I'm just.
Honestly, you're taking the mickey out of pizzas and everything else earlier. Now, be nice to him. Okay?
I'm going to be nice. I'll be nice on this. Daz, please don't worry about any of the questions I'm going to ask you. It's nice and simple. I love listening to your music, and so much so your album now that we're looking at here. Now there are some very meaningful lyrics in the one they didn't want to hear. So, which is your favourite song on that album?
Oh, that's horrible!
Now, I knew you were going to ask that.
I'm only asking because I actually have a favourite.
And in all honesty, it tends to change.
Yeah.
I'm actually really proud of the album as a whole. I think it all sits together well, and it sort of flows along different genres slightly, and I think it all knits together quite well as well. So, yeah, I'm really proud of it. But favourite song? At the minute, I'm probably going to say You Love Yourself, which I know you like as well.
I love that song. Absolutely fantastic. As soon as the very first time you played it to me, I thought, oh, my goodness. That was amazing. That was amazing. And I do love it.
It was just how it all came together with that song. It literally, it was a half-written song. I picked it up and I thought, right, I need to do a little bit more with the music, and it just all fell together. I think I did it in finished writing it, recorded it, mixed it. It was done within the day, and yeah, it just all fell together nicely. I am pleased with it.
Brilliant.
So, was it the music you had first, or was it some of the lyrics?
It was the basis of the music, so it had the key and everything. It just needed a little bit more to it. It was a bit bland. The lyrics were pretty much raw. I think I reconfigured 2 verses and just tidied it up a little bit, really. I mean, I can't even remember when it was initially wrote. It was probably 5-6 years ago, something like that.
No, as I say, the very first time you played it to me, I thought, oh my goodness, I'm loving this. So some of the songs you've written on there, okay, on here, we're going to go with, tell me a little bit about The Outsider. What's the story behind The Outsider?
All right, The Outsider was actually one of the first songs I ever wrote. So they've been wrote about 98. And my mum always liked that one. And I just thought, you know what, it just needs to have a decent recording of it. So, yeah, and I just thought, yeah, that's going to be the opener, really, because it's one of the first songs I wrote. So, and there's a bit of that across the album, really. There's some, really old songs that I wrote over 20 years ago, and then there's some brand new ones. There's a bit of everything, really.
So, well, with that in mind, where did you get the idea from the lyrics to me?
Oh, for The Outsider? Yeah. It's pretty much how I felt back then, I think. I did always feel like the outsider at school and everything like that. In my first year of comprehensive, I was in the lower sets, and that was because I had an awful lot of problems with my hearing. as a child. And then I got moved up into the top sets in the second year. But I sort of got isolated a bit because I left all my old friends in the bottom set, and then the new lot had already had a year to make their friendships.
Yep.
So I sort of got isolated a bit. So yeah, I certainly felt a bit like an outsider here.
So the song is about yourself then, Daz, really?
Yeah, definitely.
But the good thing about it is, obviously, because you're pouring your heart out on the lyrical side of things, other people going through a sort of similar aspects of life can actually relate to that then.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing about it, really. I mean, I wrote it when I was about 19, and that's obviously how I felt when I was 19, and I still feel like that now at 41.
You don't look 41, for goodness sake, honestly. What you like? Honestly, we don't have none of that fibbing here on the radio. Goodness, mind you, no one can see you on the radio, so you can say what you like.
I know, I should start fibbing on that, shouldn't
I? That is brilliant. But just to mirror what Andy said, the album itself, the one they don't want you to hear. Who don't they want to hear? You know, where did that come from, the actual album cover?
It was just all my own idea. It was just, I thought there's enough, especially on the first side of the album, there's an awful lot of social commentary. And yeah, a lot of the upper classes and that just don't want to hear it. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I thought.
Now, I love the brick wall part there, Daz, as well, because is that a brick wall around you, or is that a brick wall around us?
It's basically both.
I thought
and
so, yeah.
The brick wall that society puts us under as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You know, you've got to adhere to this, you've got to be that, you've got to be the other. And, we all face brick walls every day.
Absolutely. You've got to conform, I think the word is, isn't it? Conform to the social society of life. So
conform to the ideals.
Absolutely. So, Daz, you're going to be writing a song about Brexit very shortly, then, I take it.
Well, really, I already have. Blind the Nation, the first song on An Acoustic Soul, is exactly about Brexit.
Oh, that is brilliant. I won't get political. I won't ask you which way you turn on that side of things, because obviously that's a unique.
But yeah, have a listen to Blind the Nation. You'll see what I mean.
Oh, fantastic. Now, if people want to get hold of your music, how do they do it, Daz?
Nice easy way on my website, which is dazkentofficial.co.uk. All my music's free. You can just go and just download it to your heart's content. Also, it's all on Spotify and Deezer and Apple Music and all that malarkey as well.
Perfect.
Just basically search Daz Kent anywhere and you'll find me.
There he is. There he is. So I'm going to pass you back to Andy, because I jumped in there a little bit prematurely, because I know you're going through the album as well. So is there another track on there, Andy, that you like?
Well, I love a bit of the jam, and obviously I've noticed that you've got a title there, To the Underground. Where does that come from?
Sorry, Andy?
Where does the title To the Underground come from?
In all honesty, it just sort of flowed with the melody line more than anything else. It just sort of fitted. It wasn't really conscious, in all honesty. And again, it was just really an old song I'd written about 6-7 years ago. I did it on a scrap piece of paper. And when I started recording the album, I just picked it up and just saw where it went, really.
Okay, cool.
There we go.
So we've also got to say, it was your birthday the other day, wasn't
it? It was.
And are you going to tell us how old you were?
41.
For those that didn't...
41.
Go on, 41.
41 years young.
Ah, there we go. Well, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
There we go. A belated birthday wish from here at Target Radio. Oh, that is fantastic. I'm just trying to find happy birthday for you now on the system here. I'm sure I've got it here somewhere. there we go. I think I found it. There we go. Right, okay. We're going to do this. Where are we? Where is it? Where's the birthday? Oh, there it is. There we go, a bit of Stevie Wonder for you in the background while we continue our little chat here and exploring a brand new album as well. So the album's got, hang on, let's have a look. It's got, lucky for some, 13 brilliant tracks on there. Now, a lot of people steer away from going to number 13. Why number 13 for you?
Because although it's meant to be an unlucky number, it seems to be quite lucky for me.
Do you know, we share something in common as well, because I won't go in with your birthday and things like that, because I don't tell anyone my birthday date, but I do like the number 13. I'm drawn towards number 13. Don't know why, but I am. And a lot of people say, oh, it's unlucky, don't walk under ladders. Well, I do. I like 13, and if I see 2 black cats, great. If I see them in my rear view mirror flattened on the ground, not so great. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm not superstitious, are you?
In all honesty, I don't have much luck with fate, so I tend to avoid anything that might knock it off. So if I see a magpie, I will salute.
Yes, we have salutes down here in the south as well, but I don't think we can broadcast them ones.
No, Nikki salutes, and she says, good morning. I think it's good morning, Mrs. Magpie. Look after your family, something along those lines.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've ditched that bit. I just stuck to the saluting now.
Yeah, absolutely. Is she all right?
Yeah.
Well, Nikki is Andy's wife. It's just in case anyone's listening
I'm
that didn't
sure
know
Daz
that.
knows that.
Yeah, but I'm sure the other millions of people that are tuned in right now didn't know that. So, Nikki, Top-walker, hello, good evening, and hopefully you're feeling better soon. She's going to kill you when you get home, Andy.
Not me.
No, not me, no. I know what I'm going to get. We won't go into that. But, so what are you doing this bank holiday weekend then? I take it you're a bit too far to come down to Brighton, or are you coming down, or what?
Oh, I wish I could. Really wish I could. Fortunately, my finances aren't great at the moment. So, no, I've got to go gigging, I'm afraid.
Well, don't be afraid of it, because it is your bread and butter, but most importantly, it's something you really enjoy. You can hear that in your music.
Yeah, well, again, going back to why I started playing, it was the only time I felt me. I had confidence, and yeah, as soon as that guitar went round my neck, it was just like I was a different person. It just gave me an inner belief and a self-confidence that I never had in anything else.
So a lot of guitarists say that, once they've strapped the guitar on, they can hide behind it, but in fact what you're saying is it's an extension of you, so you're not hiding behind it, you're actually using that guitar to portray yourself and push yourself pretty much into the public eye.
Well, what people have said to me is that the person on stage is me.
Yeah, of course.
And, we need to try and get that out a bit more in real life.
Well, absolutely. Now, obviously, I'm going to get on my little platform here and promote about unsigned acts and artists and bands and going out there and supporting your local musician. Now, when you're going out into your pubs, clubs, and obviously your sort of working man's clubs and things like that, I mean, how is the audience to you? I mean, obviously, what I'm trying to say is, do you get a good following where you are?
I do, yeah, I do. I can't complain, really.
Good.
Complain. I have great support. But it is hard these days. It certainly got a lot harder over the last few years.
Yeah.
I think you can notice just about everywhere numbers starting to dwindle down.
Yeah.
And, a lot of places struggling.
Well,
and,
absolutely,
there's not much to compete with now, isn't there? With, supermarkets selling beer for next to nothing, and Sky and Netflixes and everything. So
people aren't going out as much, are they? People are, I think becoming sort of more, shall we say, couch vegetables. They are sitting in more. They're doing more at home, like you quite rightly said. Drinks are cheaper at home. You're getting from the local supermarket, and there's so much entertainment on the box, on the TV and everything. But what I would always say is, what would be for me, if I wanted to come out and see you for whatever reason, give us a sale, okay? What would I expect if I come out and saw yourself performing? What would I go home with?
Basically, you just see blood, sweat, and tears. That's the only way I can describe my life. I enjoy, I love the songs I do. I always, I find it hard to do a song that I don't love, so I give every song everything I can, and I've always played that way. And again, that's why Mod identified with me as well, because when you watch Maria and Weller and everything, they're giving absolutely everything. They hold absolutely nothing back.
Yeah.
And I think, when most people see me, that's generally what they go away with. They've seen an honest, genuine musician just playing for the absolute love of it, and hopefully that shines through.
Brilliant answer. That's a brilliant answer, Daz. I'm going to hand you back to Andy here, because I believe that he's got a couple of more questions. Hopefully nothing too hard.
I'm not going to go hard questions. I'm not going to go hard questions. Obviously, I know you've had it tough. I know you've had it tough, fella, and we've seen, and you've spoken to me sort of briefly about it. But can you give us a bit of an insight into how you really felt when you wrote some of the music that brought you back up from being low?
It's hard to explain. It's like people always say, when you are low and that's when the songs and that will come out, and it generally isn't. It's generally months and months afterwards. But what I generally find with most of my songs, I'll write them and it'll be then later on myself when I look back at them, I'll suddenly go, that's why I wrote that. That's what I meant there. It's very subconscious, subconscious. And it's quite scary at times. It is when you look back at the songs, and you can see exactly why you did write things and that. Yeah, it's like there's a something else at work. It's strange.
Okay, well, thank you for being honest with me there, mate. But I'm looking through your calendar now, your gig calendar, and you've got some great events coming up. You want to run through them with us?
Yeah, sure.
I see you got on the. I'm looking here. You're on the 7th of September. You're there at the Holt at Redcar.
Yes.
Okay, and that's. I think you kick off about 8 o'clock now.
Well, it's normally about 9:30, but it's actually turned into a bit of a dilemma, that one.
Oh dear!
It's actually been changed to the Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm playing the Saturday now, but I'm also playing Barney Jam at Barney Castle on the same day for charity. So I'm playing there at 7 o'clock for 45 minutes, and then I've got a blast right over from Barney Castle to Redcar to play Redcar on the night. So yeah, I've got myself a nice busy day there.
Fair play to you.
Wow, there we go.
Okay, and then we're going on to the following week, 14th of September. You've got a charity day at the Wheat Sheaf in Sunderland.
Yep, up in Sunderland. Yep.
Okay, what when you say charity day, what is the charity in aid of?
Oh, now you're challenging me. I get that much. I can never remember what I'm doing. Basically, how it works is I have to look every week to see what I'm doing the next week, because that's pretty much how it gets. I
can see that, because your calendar is very, very busy there. So you're very popular. So it's great to see.
In all honesty, this is actually quite wound down from the band days a couple of years ago. I mean, it was every weekend, all weekend, absolute constant. So actually, I'm taking a bit of a back foot now, more on the live stuff. So, and I'm saying this, but the events all still need updating. There's more to get put in.
Well, come on, get your finger out. Come on. Now, just to, you got a couple of private events. Obviously, we won't mention those because they're private. But then on November the 15th, you're back at Redcar again at the Holt. So, you're a busy bee.
Yes. Yeah, I've got gigs, right up to the start of next year. So, yeah, I'm not really pushing for them at the moment, but they're still coming in. And, yeah, it's lovely. And it keeps me busy.
Brilliant, lovely.
Are you happy doing the acoustic, or are you got any plans about actually reforming a band?
Well, I'm doing a mix of stuff at the moment. So I've got an acoustic set, and then I've also got an electric set where I use backing tracks and that as well for some of the venues that prefer that. So I've got that, and then I've got obviously my own stuff and everything as well. So yeah, I've got about 3 or 4 sets on the go, depending on venues and everything at the moment. But for another band, not at the moment. Maybe next year might start thinking about it again. But at the moment, no, it's just nice to just be going out on myself and doing different things.
Being in control.
Since coming out the bands, it's let me concentrate again on me, my original stuff, and and get back to being a musician again.
Oh.
They say that, though, about being in a band and then obviously breaking away from the band to explore other avenues and stuff like that. You've only got yourself to answer to as well. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
Now, I've just looked at your profile picture here. You in this boating blazer, rather smart and dapper, and obviously the black sunglasses and everything. Now, I can see a bit of weather going on there. Is that one of your musical inspirations?
Definitely, yeah.
I thought so.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Like I say, my parents were into the Style Council and everything, so I grew up with them quite a bit in my childhood and everything.
Yes, of course.
Missed a bit of the Jam. I can still remember seeing Going Underground when that was number one.
Oh.
But I can just remember thinking, the bass player doesn't look right for that band. But I was only about 5.
Oh, I'm sure Bruce will love you for that one. Next time I see him, I'll mention it. Okay. Now, talking about mentioning members of the Jam, I spoke to Rick about the Going Underground and obviously Dreams of Children, which was the double A side. And it was quite funny, actually, because when I was talking to him live, I asked him to talk about this story about, because they were on a gig at the time and in, I think, middle America. And and it wasn't going very, very well, apparently, and there was only a few people turning out. The Jam really never conquered America. But what I was going to go say was, when they found out that Going Underground and Dreams of Children went to number 1, Rick said they cancelled the rest of the tour. There were only about 3 or 4 left in the tour as well. And they just hopped onto Concorde and flew back. And I said to him off air, this is before we went live on air, and I went, do you know, Rick, I don't know if we should mention that. And he says, why? I said, well, you're talking about hopping on Concorde like hopping on a number 9 bus. And he went, oh, really? I said, yeah. He said, do I come over a bit sort of like facetious then? I went, and I'm talking to a drummer, a famous drummer from the Jam, and I'm going, well, I don't want to say things like that. He goes, no, he says, I'm a bit of a, yeah, it does sound a bit big-headed, doesn't it? But I will, next time I see Bruce, I will mention that Daz Kent thought you weren't right for the Jam, but I'm sure he'll love you for that one.
Do tell me opinion did change.
Oh, I will do indeed. But for now, Daz, it's been an absolute privilege and a pleasure speaking to your good self, and may your music continue. And I've just got one more little question that I like to ask all of my guests that we have here on the show.
Yeah, sure.
Now, obviously, we've delved into a little bit of you, and obviously you're having your highs and your lows. It happens to absolutely everyone, and it's how you control it. But when you're making music, when you're writing your music, what is the best state of mind to be in when you're doing it? Or is it a combination of both? Can you be happy or can you be sad? What makes the best song?
It tends to happen in fits and starts. I'll just get periods where literally I'll go to bed and I just can't sleep, and I'll get an idea, and then that's it. I've got to get up, and then it'll just go, and that's happened with God knows how many songs. But I wouldn't really say there's a formula. I mean, there is times where I'll go, right, I want to write a song, and I'll sit and I'll work it out. Mr. Jones on the album, which I think is probably the most Jam-like song on the album, that one was pretty much that, right? I want to write a song, and I want to write a song like this, and I just did it. So, which is good. That's just started happening as I've got older, that I can actually now sit and actually work on a song and without needing so much inspiration.
Now, that is brilliant to hear, and that really is, it's refreshing to hear it as well, because a lot of artists out there, I'm not saying they're not honest, but you are ultra honest. There's so much goodness about you, and to be honest and open like you are, it is refreshing to hear. You do get some, I'm not going to mention names because I wouldn't do that, but I'm saying unsigned bands, unsigned artists and bands are generally very open and honest. It's when you get to the musicians out there that are on the unsigned label, i.e. they're labelled, they can be a bit pretentious, and they can be a little bit sort of like, well, I know what I'm doing, and I like my songs, and this is that, this is this, and it's really that is why I've gone down the unsigned route with the radio station as well, because yes, I do enjoy listening to the Jam, the Who, the Kinks, and all of that stuff, and some of the other bands that are out there. But it's beautiful to hear unsigned artists that are out there week on week, busting their bits and pieces off to do what they do because of the love of it.
Just the love of music. Yep,
Absolutely,
yep,
and that is brilliant. Right now, Daz, I'm going. Well, you're already on the radio, so what I'm going to do now is ask you in your best radio voice to introduce yourself. And we're going to pick this track because I know it was mentioned earlier, and it's called "You Love Yourself." And this is a radio edit, Daz Kent. So I'd like you to introduce it as we say goodbye to you. And thank you very much indeed for hopping on the Target Radio today. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to speak to your good self.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for the support, guys, as well.
You're
Really
welcome,
appreciate
Daz, and
it.
we'll speak to you very soon, fella.
Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers, Andy.
Right, so introduce yourself, and we'll leave you with this brilliant song by yourself here.
Oh. Okay, well, next up we've got You Love Yourself from my new album, The One They Don't Want You to Hear.
Brilliantly said. Thanks very much, Daz. Take care, my friend.
Cheers,
Take care,
guys.
fella.
See
Bye-bye.
you soon. The Who There, The Real Me, which brings us to, finishing off a great show. Thanks very much for all of our guests this afternoon, this evening. And Andy Top-Walker, I'll see you, my friend, on Sunday for 6 o'clock.
You certainly will, and I'm
Brilliant.
looking forward to it.
And myself. Looking forward to it all now. I want to go now.
So do I.
Yeah, let's go.